Hey, let's start from the very beginning. Animation contains three basic things. You have to remember that. First is drawings, right? We need to see clearly what's happened with the character or with this by the character. This is pendulum, right? Mood, pose, dynamic part of action, gravity, weight, and so on, right? That's a drawing. Keep the size, keep the proportions, and that will be mostly what we need from drawing. Second is timing. This is like a three basic bricks, essential bricks of the animation. Second is timing. You have to remember that projector, right, has 24 frames per second to produce the movie or animation, whatever, 24 frames per second, which means every single frame is a one drawing. Has to be this way, right? But in animation, they found a better way. It could be every second drawing, which is only 12 drawings per second. Or, like Miyazaki, he actually doing 3 frames. Every third frame, right? Yeah, third frame, which is 3 frames per one drawing. It's a save time, and a save your work, and basically it's almost the same result we will get. Okay, that's about uh, timing. Now, what's good timing? Good timing is when you start your move character and when you stop this character. Like that's basically two things. For how long your character moves, right? And for how long your character stops. Hold it. Hold the poses, right? And you have to always, try to plan for your character what character is doing when he moves and what character will doing mostly when character is on hold or on hold. Yeah, he's thinking. Not everything move. No, or not like you're doing some movement and suddenly you're thinking, oh, maybe in the middle of this gesture he stops. It could be, but basically not. Okay. Now what? Timing is to me similar to good reading, like a good reader who read the book and for listeners, right, to audience. You can hear, you can perfectly understand the reading and you perfectly understand what's going on. And plus, you feel like a music inside of that. Yeah, you can feel the poses. You can feel when reader is read some text fast, right? Sometimes uh, he stops or he slows down. That's exactly what's going on with animation. I remember Fyodor Hitruk, he said if you want to plan your timing, try to pronounce this like you read some the book, right? Anyway, third brick, it's very hard. It's really hard. It's actually, I would say, probably toughest one. That's spacing. Spacing. It's two types of spacing. If you see my chart here, right? My drawing you see here. You see the key on the left. You can see key on the right. Here and here, right? Spacing is from here to here. It's a main spacing part. That how far this pendulum is moved. It could be moved this way or could be shorter, right? It could be moved this way, right, only. Or could be moved even more up to here, right? That's a spacing. But this spacing only for the gesture. This is two type of spacing. Yes, second type of spacing it's probably even harder. It's means when you do in betweens and you do let's say extremes and breakdowns, right? you have to thinking where your next frame will be. Right here, right here, right here, right here, or right here. Or, right, hold on. Or maybe even more contrast. Maybe here, 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 you see that? Here, here, and right here. Could be even this way. Or here, or here. Whatever. It's about feelings, your personal feelings. That's spacing. Basically, it's about your personal feelings. It's like you like a musician, right? When you're playing certain piece, you actually slow down or you just make it very small pauses between notes or tighten them together. That's your personal feelings. That's a spacing, and that's why it's so hard and why it's so important. Because if you put your drawings in right places, even like 1 millimeter, you can believe me, 1 millimeter different, it could be on a screen and feels like it's alive. It's like really illusion of life. Or if it's spacing not quite right, that will be just move. That's a difference between good spacing and bad spacing. I would say making the spacing uh, like trying to reach some result. Let's say practice, practice, and practice. If you do practice, you will do well. Finally, you will do well. And on top of this, I would say on the top of that layers of the cake, probably one of the hardest part is feel weight. A certain weight for any character, right? For that pendulum, you have certain weight. For let's say for maybe lighter or for bigger, if it's bigger like this, it will be heavier, right? Or smaller, it's lighter. You have to feel what kind of weight this character has. That's important thing too. See, and that's really hard because we draw only lines, right? How you can create weight? Yeah, but you have to feel again. You have to feel some kind of movement by inertia. Everything has inertia. Big weight has big inertia, right? And a smaller one has less inertia, like a bird, light bird, right? Light bird easily flying from one side to the other side. That's light one. But heavy one, it starts drops and almost immediately down, right? And push the ground more and more. That's a heavyweight. Yeah, this is. We'll talk about this later, but I'm. I actually mentioned, I believe, everything what is important when you start to do animation. So now back to our assignment. What the first one? First one, you have to plan your animation. How to start to this pendulum, right? This pendulum is has some kind of you see key. It's extremist position, right? Left extremist position and right extremist position. That's it. All move or all gesture is between these two, from the left to the right, from the right to the left. That's it, right? You have to draw them first. Second, you decided, but you're thinking the same way you're thinking about keep the same, you see, keep the same amount of meat. Same amount of meat means the same size, same length, same like say proportions for this, right? Very important. Keep the proportions. proportions has to be the same. Anyway, uh, did the first and usually I started from the left, but you can start it even from the straight line. Like I said, you see straight line, easier way to build kind of triangle. See triangle, and what do? You just do this way, right? You did one key and two key, first key and a second key. I'll show you. I send you the sample of the scene. It doesn't necessarily to be like mine. Of course, it's not. But I just gave you idea how to do this animation. It means doesn't need to be like start with that hand. I just do it for fun. I did this for fun. You don't need. You need just do this right from the left to the right. And you see here vertical, straight vertical lines, and you see marks key here. He marks, I believe, key here. See, that's basically two main positions. Also, extreme in the middle. Actually, I prefer past the middle. Why? Because it gives you more, I would say, snap. Snap is like, you click with your fingers. And most animators try to skip the middle position in the arc. But anyway, you did first that position on the left or on the right, key and key, right? After that, you try to find for how long this one swing of the pendulum from the, let's say, start from the left side to the right side. For how long? I actually in this scene, which is you have this scene, right? You have this sample. Um, it's about, I think it's about 17 frames, 70 frames, which is less than 24, less than 1 second, but it's not a half a second. It's 12 frames. 12 frames is for this, it's probably too fast. Anyway, you can try it even 25 or maybe 33, whatever. That's better. But you have to start it, your animation with a left key and a right key, right? Left key. By the way, this key it's not from the circle because cycle of this started from here, from this to this. This is cycle, but it's wider movement. You see, much broader because arm is really pushing. And why is so wide? Don't think this way. Don't be worried. It's just for fun. Yeah, it's probably too hard to do that. Anyway, so create these two key first. Hold on. Yeah, left and right. Right. Try to find. Let's say you can do maybe even the middle like this. Doesn't matter. Or you can find this way. The good idea when character start moves, right, to make a good weight, you do your extremes and in-betweens closer to the previous key. More here, less here. And again, closer to the key. Try to skip middle part. Try to skip it. You know. Mm-hmm. So plus started to do your key, started to do your in-betweens, and I think this way, that's a gesture, right? First 17, this, right? First 17. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. Pam, pam, right? This is probably in the middle, which is 9, right? This is 9. But, like I said, what about spacing? If it's, you can do just a simple way. You can divide it in half and divide it in half and divide it in half again, which means you always do this way. If it's from first to 9, right? You divide it in half, it's a 7, 5, 3, which is 7, you see, in a half, 5, in a half, 3, in a 1, which is, looks like, easy way, see, half, right? Half, half. Pam, 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 pam. You see, closer drawings, when they're tighter together to each other, it's a slower. It's a slower movement. When they actually move away from each other, that's a faster. That's the principle. Just start it. Start it to do this. Try to feel it. Try to make that principle. Okay? I'll show you. Usually what's happened, right? I'll show you. You do this is middle, right? This, you see? You try to skip middle and go toward to the ends. That's the point. You see? Got it? But you possess that middle. It's not like here, but this will be your middle. You see, in this case. You got it? No? That's your middle. It's just a bit more to this place. That will be the same thing here when it moves from right to the left. From left to the right or right to the left. But you see, they actually both positions, right? Not in the middle, but on a certain distance from the middle. See? Try it this
So
way.
it can be the same frame, it can be frame 9, just the spacing will be different.
Yes, could be 9 here.
Okay, good.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And again, why it's important? Because, you know, when you put different type of spacing, you will feel different type of weight. You can believe me. When it moves slowly from here and boom, go to this, that will be really heavy feeling. You see, when it's like, I would say, when even move, it feels like it's almost no weight when it's even moves. You have to you have to avoid to do that, you know, because when you do spacing like this, yeah, or kind of just close to that, um, your animation feels like it's drifting inside of oil. It's not really pleasurable. You see what I mean, right? It's like even. Everything is even. It's not good. Okay. Anyway, clear? I hope clear.
So basically right now we are sketching just from 1 to 17, right?
Yes, but like I said,
Mm-hmm.
you can sketching 1 to 17 or maybe 25th, whatever, or 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also I recommend to do one thing. When you do your in-betweens, right? Try to using
Mm-hmm.
not even, you know, first, third, fifth, not like a one, two, three, four. Skip this. Okay, okay, got it?
Okay.
Yeah, when you start it, if you see, you have to thinking. In my case, this is soft. You see, it's kind of like a rope. It's like a rope. But in your case, it could be stick. You know, stiff stick. or soft rope, whatever you like, it doesn't matter. Plus, when you draw everything, whatever, right? Doesn't matter whatever you draw. Always think not a line. Think about a shape. I recommend don't erase anything. Try to don't erase. First, draw. Okay? First, just
Okay.
draw. But when you finish your new drawings, after that you will erase. Okay? I
Okay.
recommend to do this.
Okay.
That's old masters. You see, like a Michelangelo, Leonardo, right? These guys. If you see their drawings, you can even see the previous sketches on the same page or same paper. Same with animation. Because if you erase it, you don't know where you have to improve your drawings. You don't know where you actually to redraw your new drawings. But when you still have old one, it's way easier to redraw it, right? And after that, just erase old one. That's it. Yeah, you don't care about lines. Absolutely right. Uh, yeah, everything feels fine. It feels, you know what? I recommend for next time, you know, don't forget about arcs, right? Arcs.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to make them much more clear because I would say it feels like in the bottom part, right, is shortened. You see this? It's not really
Yes.
long
Yes. I see.
enough because
Okay.
also, you know, when you draw anything, doesn't matter what you draw. Draw through like a stick. You can draw through this body of pendulum, right? Don't be worried. You always can erase it, but don't do like just a stick. In the end, after that, just a nose of that pendulum, right? You see that? It helps you to feel unity, feel easier way to draw. That's what I recommend. Okay. Okay. It's about timing.
Okay.
Looks like it's too fast. It's too fast. It's
Yeah.
just a bit too fast. You know, just to everyone, timing. Timing. It's let's say uh, when it's smooth something, you have to feel it. You know, even smooth some kind of fast. Some parts supposed to be slow. In that case, you will see what's really going on. If it's everything moves too fast, right? We can't realize what's going on. That's the point. You see, like I said, the problem is in the beginning. Remember, I told about principle of moving any characters. Some parts is move, some parts is hold. It's not quite hold, it's called moving hold, but it needs to be hold more on extreme positions. Okay?
Yeah. I see. Thank you.
Okay, that's no problem. Yeah. So, and again, I recommend to draw through, if you remember, draw through a stick through the body of the pendulum, right? Don't be worried, not like just connect it on the top. Number one. In number two, try to keep the arc on your first key. You know, just always check the arc. What I really like, you put the center of weight in the middle, but the center of weight is supposed to be exactly on the arc. Okay, exactly. Good feelings, good feelings, good feelings. The weight. Uh, the only thing which I really recommend, try to be very precise with the end of the pendulum who no no who which is supposed to be touch the lower part of the arc, you know, very precise. That's very important. Okay, it's not a
Okay.
chewing because now it's kind of chewing the side the that shape. Okay. And
Yeah.
again,
Sure.
to everyone, just shortly, it's about slow in, slow out, right? It's about arcs. It's about keep the sizes of the character, right? Like a pendulum size. and wait. Keep arcs too, anyway. See in every single assignment which you like do tomorrow, after tomorrow, and so on, right? Will be, let's say, extend that vision, your vision, how to do and what to do in animation. Okay. I hope for you for today that was clear enough to work with your stuff. Yeah. Have a good day.